Now, also back in the days, y'all used to give us the topics like Tuesdays and Thursdays, and Slim and Manny would be on us about shit like the ad libs and shit.
Yeah.
You think the shit changed up now where being that critical of this shit, you think that's like dead, like as far as artist development, niggas ain't into that shit no more.
Nah, niggas doing some different shit. Niggas doing whatever the fuck
What
they
they
want.
want, that's why, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, how we did it back in the G, we were just learning. I remember we didn't even know how to do 16. And like,
Exactly. Yeah, I remember learning how. I remember to this day. I remember. I still the way we count them. My engineers counted. They counted. I guess the real way. I still counted the way we was taught. Shit.
you
So they
heard
be
me?
sitting there looking. We always getting it wrong in this motherfucker. Trying to figure
We ain't
out what.
ad libs. We ain't
They,
know nothing about
none of
none of
that
that.
shit. Yeah,
All
but
that
Slim and Fresh used to stay on us about the ad libs though.
and
They was serious about that
they
shit.
was telling us about songs, man. Y'all ain't making fucking songs,
Songs.
man.
Yeah, yeah.
Took a hook, a chorus. You heard me? We was like, man, what the fuck you
Nigga just
talking
want
about?
rap.
We just want rap.
Nigga don't know when to stop.
Nigga,
Nigga
you
like
wasn't
nigga gotta do
worried about
16
the
bars.
you eating the whole fucking song, nigga, up to you. So I always say a nigga hungry is when he rap and the song off. That nigga hungry.
You
When
said
I
when the
hear
song
that,
off.
that nigga the beat done stop and he
Stop and nigga
still rap.
still going. Yeah, I had a thing for that. Yeah.
You heard me? You was the first nigga I ever seen do that, and you used to say, "Feed me raps, feed me beats." You heard me? Whatever you
Yeah.
did, but it was real. So when I see young niggas doing that, I be like, "He hungry for real."
That's what it. Now a lot of them. Hopefully, a lot of them get that shit from a young nigga like me.
Off top, you heard me? You treated a lot of them got your whole flow. I mean, we really taught niggas the game. Mula, I gave you the game.
All
I
day.
showed you, so I showed you how to do this shit and how we supposed to do it by not risking our life. Let's be in
Exactly.
the studio every day.
Now,
You heard me?
where Uncle Joe at? Where Uncle Joe Casey at?
Them boys uptown.
Yeah.
All right, fam. We just saw the clip with Lil Wayne and Baby Birdman on Tunchi Radio. That is Lil Wayne's podcast. You can check out the full interview there. I enjoyed this interview because it's basically like watching two good old friends sit back and chop it up, just reminisce on, the things they've been through together. So it's a pretty cool interview. So look, y'all, the things that I took out of it, as you can see, the clip that I really focused on was right when Lil Wayne asked Baby, is artist development dead? Now he got to that. After he said that, he started speaking on how Slim and Baby used to have him in the studio, and they would have to, each day there was a different topic for them to write on. So that is a form of artist development, right? Now, when I think of artist development, I'm kind of, I've studied this music game as a whole. I'm not just a studier of rap. I'm a studier of basically the whole entertainment realm. I love all this shit. So when I think about artist development, I go back to Motown. They were like the biggest to ever do it. The way they would come in and really mold you, they'll take a artist off the street, off the Detroit streets. You're just a regular girl, you're a regular guy, and by the time you come out of the Motown factory, you're polished up just like a brand new Ford machine. I mean, that was actually their model, was to make it work. Just like the T model cars that Ford was running out of the Ford factory because Barry Gordy had worked there. So he felt like if they could do it like that, with as far as an assembly line, put the pieces together, and by the time you're done with the line, you got a beautiful brand new car. Barry Gordy felt like he could do that with his artists, and we saw them do it countless times, as far as if it was with the Temptations, Diana Ross and the Supremes, anyone, Marvelettes, Marvin Gaye. Yeah, I mean, so many people we did it with. So that's what I think of when I think of artist development. Just taking something that's not really quite there, it's just raw talent, and really giving it its thing, its it factor, the thing that makes it be able to go to the next level or become what we would call back in the day a star. Give it that star quality, right? So he said, is it dead? Now, Baby said immediately, yeah, that shit is dead, right? And I feel like, yeah, in a sense, it is dead to that magnitude because the systems change. It's not really so much of the artist development being in the hands of the record label anymore. You got to figure back in these days, especially if I'm talking Motown, they was one of the only one of the only gangs in town. They weren't, but for that type of music, that sound, because they developed their own sound, Yeah, they're the only game in town. When you go through the Motown gates, you got to go through that. Even when we move up into the 2000s, all the way up until artists, we started seeing artists like Bieber was one of the first, Taylor Swift, of course, Soulja Boy. Much respect to Soulja Boy, but Soulja Boy, these are examples of the first to really come up off the internet independently. So within that, you saw not really an artist development in the same sense, but still artist development. At the end of the day, no, it's not going to be the same as if you're inside of a machine that's been developing artists for the last 40 years. So this is how we do it. No, but as an independent artist, you're still taking yourself through a level of artist development. Now, everyone's doing it a different way. Like he said, no, it's whatever now, because we're individuals. So every individual artist is basically developing themselves without maybe them even being conscious of it. If you are conscious of it, you can kind of make more decisive moves in the direction of where you want your development to be, right? But individually as artists, we are still developing ourselves. Me getting on here, making these jumping off the porch videos and doing that as I'm putting out music, that's me developing myself, developing my brand, because that's really all it's about. When you saw the Temps, when you ended up seeing Jay-Z at the end of the day with his fedora on the first album, I mean, that was a brand, a look he was going for. So the development of the artist is all to develop the brand, the artist's brand. So at the end of the day, we all have to understand that even though the system of the artist development has changed and it's not such a big system that's contained in this box and we have more freedom, we are still artists and we do still have to develop brands for ourselves. You know what I mean? So like I said, me doing this is developing a brand. Anyone who's involved with the drill music, like I was just talking about this with my twin, but that is a brand. Like at the end of the day, if you're going out, you're living that life and then you rapping about it, you're branding yourself. Like that is a brand. So that's still a form of artist development because you're taking that brand to push yourself to the forefront of what you do, right? So at the end of the day, another thing that stood out to me in this interview was when Baby said, you know, we learned as we went. And that is more so true today as ever before, because a lot of artists that are coming up more on the independent, on the independent front. So they don't really have the guidance of the major labels. Even if they did, we're not even so sure how significant that guidance even still is in today's world, right? But they don't have the guidance. So with that being said, everyone at this point is kind of studying as you go. And don't get it twisted. Even if you're inside of a label, whether you're inside of a smaller label or a bigger label, just the fact that the industry is being changed so much by technology. Now we got this metaverse coming out where they're really going to allow you as the content creator to truly own each piece of content that you create. So like this is really going to be owned by me pretty soon, depending on how they're going to do it, how it's going to roll out. But that's the whole concept of the metaverse, is for each individual to truly be an owner of what they create. So just the fact that technology is changing so rapidly, even the industry is having to shift. So we're all learning as we go. Develop as you go. So if you're an artist, don't be scared that you're not where you want to be. You're not at the end picture. You have to develop who you are as you go. Before, when I first started getting back into rap, like maybe I'll say like 2 years ago, 3 years ago, when I first had the notion of it, I was doing similar, but in different ways. Similar things, but differently. So right now, my brand's starting to develop. Why? Because I was learning as I went, like, okay, I need to keep this, fetch that, use this tool, throw that tool out. Oh, this works for me, right? So we got to be ambitious, and we have to definitely look fear in the face and say, get out of here, fear, right? Because that's the only way we can overcome. We got to be able to overcome our fear so we can learn as we go. So we cannot, a lot of times we're afraid of failure. So in order to not be afraid of that failure, we just got to go and fail as we go, learn as we go, develop as you go. right? And the last thing that was spoke on is your passion. When he was speaking about Wayne, how he used to rap even when the beat's off. Now, I'm not saying you got to rap even when the beat's off, but no matter, you better be doing something when something's off. I mean, when everyone else is laying down and they're done with their day, you're doing something. You feel me? When the average person isn't worried about building their brand or business, that's what you're doing. So you got to have that passion to be able to continuously drive you. So I hope you guys enjoyed the clip. At the end of the day, even though they were having a relaxed conversation, I had to post this clip because look who it is talking to you. Baby's one of the top guys who's done it. And like they said, they do sleep Baby. I mean, Baby gets slept on because out of all the rap empires that we've seen, no matter how great they were, from Rough Riders to No Limit to, let me see, No Limit. I mean, there's countless ones, fucking Rockefeller. I mean, Cash Money is one of the ones that was around during them days and is still here, still developing new artists. So that's already something to, you got to look at Baby, and we got to learn at people a lot, or learn from people. A lot of times people get characterized or get put in this caricature of themselves. So when he storms in the Breakfast Club room, now for the next 20 years, we supposed to see him as that guy. You know what I mean? But we got to see past the smoke and mirrors and see who this guy truly is, right? All right, y'all. It's your girl, Jen Ether. I hope you enjoyed this episode of Jumping Off the Porch. I'll be back with another one. We got some good ones coming up. I'm out.